Alright, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's up, everyone? As you all already know, I had a bit of computer trouble. Like, it's about a year? But yeah, I essentially had to completely rebuild my computer. Turns out the motherboard and the power supply were just, they kaput. They died. They went to the big, I would say, like, manufacturer in the sky, but that wouldn't really be fit, because they're definitely going to the big landfill somewhere. Nah, like, I'm not too sure which one went exactly, if it was just, like, maybe some dust on the motherboard that fucking took care of that, and the power supply went behind, but with the power supply being out too, it's kind of like asking which came first, chicken or the egg. It's gonna cause a whole bunch of fucking random fucking crap in between to be like, that was that. It's not worth thinking about. But yeah, so that essentially means I had to rebuild my computer entirely. New motherboard, new CPU, new RAM, new CPU cooler, new PSU. I was able to save the graphics card, my hard drives, and the case. That's the only thing remaining from my old build. With how out of date my motherboard was anyways, I was due for an upgrade. And computer parts sure as fuck ain't cheap, I can tell you that. I think in total I spent close to $1,000 just for those parts. And I even tried saving parts from the old computer too. Like, I couldn't do anything with the RAM because that was DDR3. New motherboards are DDR5, so that's about 2 generations behind. When you get a new motherboard, you kind of have to get a processor based on that. I probably could have built around the processor I had, but with how old it was anyways, you're better off getting a new one anyways. The PSU I couldn't save at all, because it was just done. It wouldn't even turn on the new motherboard when everything was said and done. I tried all my avenues with that. Yeah. I mean, I'm thankful nothing took my hard drives out. It's not like I got anything important on them, but at the same point, it's nice to have all 5 of them up and running. And I even tried saving the old CPU cooler, and that didn't work because, you know, you'd figure it's a CPU cooler. I was really just trying to save some, you know, hard-earned dinero, and it ended up biting me. I ended up messing up a motherboard. But I was able to fucking do what I had to do with that. Either way, yeah, no. What you're going to see is essentially some snippets of when I was putting everything back together. It took a little time. I didn't record the entire rebuilding process. It was mainly done on a day-to-day episode, because with how much I was trying to save from the old computer, just to have it fucking go into the nothingness, there were days where I was kind of like, why is this not working? I was Googling like a madman. Human error in the end. Like, there was a point where the graphics card wouldn't actually power on with the cables connected to it. I had the wrong cable attached. It was the right cable to the actual, like, sockets on the graphics card, not the right cable for having enough power to run it. Essentially, I had, like, a PCIe to a SATA, like, style cable, two 4-pins going into a 6-pin cable, 6-pin going to the power supply. Yeah, no, graphics cards take 2 fucking 8 pins, both sides. That puzzled me for a bit, because I've never actually had a graphics card plugged into a motherboard to actually boot without having cables connected to a power supply before, so that I had no idea was actually a thing. Like, when I built my first PC, I just kind of slapped everything together, and it worked. Like, I had no issues. So, like, I've built PCs outside of my own, too. Like, I've built someone's in the past when I was still working at one place. I've also did a little troubleshooting here and there. I've upgraded this thing plenty of times before. This is the heaviest upgrade I've ever had to fucking do with it. Ugh. And giving up drinking definitely helped make getting this thing back up and running possible, because if I was drinking, I wouldn't be able to afford it. That's just being honest. Like, fucking Christ. It is nice to have the base box back. it actually allows me to work on some things I would actually like to spend my time on. Like, I'm just going to kind of showcase this again. This thing is good for what you want it to do. I was running my YouTube channel off of this for a little bit. Like Mega Man and Bass, I did the entirety of Toy Story 2 on this thing. No, I was using this as my computer to do all my video editing, all of my recording. Like, the Steam Deck is a solid avenue for gaming in and of itself, not so much in the recording end. Like, I can actually see myself using this as like an editing PC or something like that. I've actually humored using this for my webcam, but for my intents and purposes, I really don't see much need. But I mean, either way, the fact that this thing actually kept me going for a little bit was kind of cool. Though it does not replace a proper gaming PC. Like, I couldn't get this thing to run certain games just for the simple fact of it didn't have the power. And with the Steam Deck having two different, like, modes to it, desktop mode and gaming mode, you can only do so much in desktop mode, while in gaming mode you can actually play more of the games that you'd want to play on it. The only reason you can't with the Steam Deck is because of the GPU factor. The GPU is designed for gaming mode. Desktop mode, it uses strictly the CPU for all the rendering. If I'm not mistaken, I could be up or down on those details. But I mean, heck, the Steam Deck is essentially the Switch. In terms of like the portability and all that, highly recommend. If you're looking to run a YouTube channel off of it, if you're doing mainly indie games, like Stardew Valley, some Terraria, heck, I even played Minecraft on this thing. That part was cool. Did I notice, like, jankiness? Absolutely. Did it work for my purposes? Yeah. Yeah, it did. But either way, enough of me blithering on like a moron. Let's get back to the rebuilding videos. We got a spinning fan. That is such good fucking news. Fucking finally. There's no power cables installed. Not from the top. Why is it posting? I'm confused. I have never seen more glorious fan spinning, computer properly booting. I've never been fucking goddamn more relieved that I'm just a moron. What happened was, PCIe cable for a SATA cable was plugged in and in the wrong slot. But when you have a rat's nest of fucking cables that you're trying to figure out and you're not fucking paying full enough attention, I've never been happier to be an idiot in my life. Save me another fucking trip to Best Buy and save me some money. Alright, moment of truth. Power button test. Before I do that, make sure the power supply's on. Which it's not. Now it is. Graphics card LEDs are lit. Please, baby, baby. Yes! Fuck yes. All fans are turning. Front one's lit up. That's a sight I have fucking missed. Welcome back, Basebox. Nurse, please let the family know that our patient has made a full recovery. Oh, wait. That's me. But no, everything's back together and up and operational. All systems are a fucking go. I have never been fucking happier.